Hey guys, it's Robin, and I want to talk to you about something that I have really embraced in my life, and that is turning 40. I have a lot of other friends who are going to be turning 40 in the next year or two, and some of them are really nervous about it. I have friends who are turning 30 and they're really nervous about it, but I have really embraced this decade. So I turned 40 last June, and today is my 41st birthday, and sometime before my birthday I had this idea for a theme for my birthday party. I knew I wanted to have a Star Wars party, and I was inspired by the Force Awakens to create a almost like an invitation. It was my Facebook poster for a while, and that is Star Wars, the Forties Awakens. And that has just become my mantra for this year, the Forties Awakens, because I feel like this last year I really embraced change, growing as a person, and looking forward to things in a way that I never had, that I couldn't have when I was 30. I actually was really depressed when I was 30, and I was in a kind of a bad spot, like financially, and I wasn't happy at work, and a lot of my friends were getting married and having kids, and I was really depressed about that at 30. And it took me a long time to realize those were not all things that I wanted in life. You know, I'm not married and I don't have kids, and I'm totally okay with that. It's not what I wanted, and I really have never wanted it. So I'm cool with it. And it took a while to be like, it's okay. Just because that's what the world tells you that you should be doing, it's okay. And that's the kind of stuff you learn as you get older. You get wiser. So I want to talk about some of the things I've learned on my way to 40 and then this last year, because it's been an amazing time. So this last year I really embraced travel and adventure. And I never was a big traveler. I'm not a big fan of planes, but this last year I took 7 flights. I visited California, Colorado, Kansas City, New York City, Florida, and Disney World. I went to 2 Disney parks in 1 year. I saw lots of Broadway shows, including Hamilton and The Great Comet, and just so many things I can't even remember. I saw Bruce Springsteen in concert. I just went for it and had a lot of adventures. Now, these adventures are going to cost me a lot of money, but my feeling was I'm only going to be 40 once, so I might as well embrace and go for it, because I've never really been one for going on big adventures, and I really did it. And I saw so many awesome things, like those mountains in Colorado. So amazing. And I got to spend time with so many of my favorite people across the country, and it was so great because I really just wanted to go out and travel. I mean, and if you're already doing that before you turn 40, that is awesome that you have already embraced. Another big thing is spending time with people you like, not just people you love, because sometimes you have to spend time with those people, like your family. But there are a lot of people in life who maybe you've known a long time, maybe they're people you work with. Guess what? You don't have to spend time with them if you don't like them. It's very important. Surround yourself with people you like. It's a big deal, because you will be happier for it. And I mean, you will probably also love those people, but it's important because sometimes there are relatives you might not like, or longtime friends you might not really like, and they just bring you down, and it's just not cool. It can take a lot. It can cause you a lot of stress and make you lose sleep, and it's not worth it. So try to foster those friendships and relationships that have meaning, that benefit you too, that are not just, the parasitic ones, the dramatic ones. They're not worth it. Especially if they're like romantic relationships or abusive relationships. Get out of them. Get help. Find other people or support who can help you. Another important thing is to keep learning. Just because you're 40 doesn't mean you know everything. I have been watching a lot of tutorials lately and just learning. I've been doing Photoshop tutorials. I've been using Photoshop for over almost 20 years, and I'm still learning things about it, and I think that's so cool. And and you don't necessarily have to read big heavy books, but I read the New York Times website almost every day. I look at other things like the Washington Post and Quartz, and just different links, and I try to look at different perspectives. And I also read a lot, and read books about different cultures, and I just try to learn about as many things as possible and go places like museums and landmarks that will help me learn, because it's just awesome to learn and try new things, or just learn how to cook, learn that thing, learn how to play guitar, learn something you've always wanted to know. It's so worth it. It's important to keep growing as a person. and keep your brain sharp. Because my grandma is 80 something years old and she is so sharp, but she's always enjoyed learning, I think, too. So I think that's super important. Another thing I only just started doing the last few months, it really is taking care of yourself. You know, and I don't just mean like what you eat, but also mentally. And, you know, you get enough sleep, drink enough water, you know, use your moisturizer, take your vitamins, try to eat a little better. I'm trying to do all those things. I'm not always as successful as I want to be, but I'm trying, and I think that's important. I've been going a lot to doctors lately and trying different things. I've been getting help for my anxiety and dealing with a lot of it, and it's really helping, and I feel so much happier and just more well-grounded in just these last few weeks. It's amazing because, you know, it is hard. It's hard to admit that you need help for things like, you know, mental health, but it's totally worth it. And this is a great time. When you're 40, your brain really does start to change. I think your hormonal balances are changing. If you're a woman especially, definitely take care of yourself. It's totally worth it. Another really important thing, I think, is to celebrate the things you love and don't be embarrassed by them. You know me, I love Star Wars. And I collect toys, and that's what I love. And I love Broadway. Maybe you love the Yankees, or football, or playing golf, or knitting. You should totally do those things. Don't worry what other people think. You do you. Surround yourself with those things. Make time for those things. You can't, you know, don't care what other people think. And you see, and that's another thing that took me a long time, is to learn how to not give a bleep. Because there are just things that used to drive me crazy when I was younger, things I used to worry about, and I have learned to stop caring. You know what? I'm 40 now. I dress how I want. I do what I want. I go places I want. I'm a grown-up. I pay my bills. I can do what I want. If I want to go to Comic-Con, if I want to travel all here and spend all my money, I can do that because I'm a grown-up. It took me a long time, but yeah, I really have stopped caring a lot about what other people think. It just, I don't care. It's not your business what I do. So there. Why do you think I have a YouTube channel? Because I want to. If you don't like it, don't watch. But hopefully you guys are watching because you do like it, and thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, something else that is really hard, and it's taken me my whole life to do this, but it is trying to see the bright side. Now, I have depression and anxiety, so it's really, really hard to see the bright side, but I have slowly been embracing this. I have some good friends who are very positive people, and they have helped me to see that, you know, things could always be worse. For example, this is a big deal. I'm losing my job in a few weeks, and I'm totally okay with it. I'm seeing this as an opportunity to learn things, to try new things, find something else where I'm not going to be commuting all day. I mean, if this happened to me 10 years ago, I would have been miserable. I would be so depressed. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I've really had to train myself to see the bright side because, like I said, I am not a morning person, you guys. But, you know, I've done things like, I don't watch depressing movies. I try to listen to things that are funny in the morning, or I listen to music that makes me happy every morning. You know, like I said, I cut out a lot of negativity in my life. I try to eat better because that helps. I try to walk and exercise when I can, and these kind of things have helped me. And mostly I just try to put myself in other people's shoes. You know, we complain a lot here in America about things, for example, where in other countries people don't have half of what we have or have the opportunities that we have. So sometimes I think of things like that, and that helps me out. And I read this book called Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson, which really just was so inspiring. And it talks about just embracing these happy moments and storing them all up, so that when you are feeling depressed and miserable and all of the anxiety is dragging you down, you try to remember these happy, positive things. And all the things I've been talking about have helped me build up that bank of happiness. Things like cutting out the negative people, trying to take care of myself, going on all these awesome adventures, spending time with my nieces and family. That stuff just really just helps me so much. When I know I'm feeling bad, I remind myself that depression lies, and I try to remember, like, pick some of those memories and focus on those, and it has helped me to get up in the morning some days and think, this is not so bad. It has actually happened. And I actually can go to bed and I fall asleep. That never used to happen. I used to sit in bed for a long time and just toss and turn and worry. And I'm not doing that so much anymore. And I think that's really cool. And finally, one of the big things I've learned is to embrace change. Like I said, this thing with my job is just a huge thing. It couldn't be happening at a more interesting time in my life. Like I said, being 40 with all this embracing adventure, and I'm ready for change. I'm so excited about this. And I've been doing other little changes in my life. I've been trying to save money. I've been cooking more, just spending time learning things. I was doing all this stuff even before I found out I was losing my job. So I felt like I was in a really good place. And it's so weird because, like I said, 10 years ago, I would not have felt this way. But it's okay. If you're turning 40, you're turning 50, turning 30, you're hitting a new milestone, it's totally okay. I swear it is gonna be okay. Don't freak out. Don't panic. Embrace that number. You know, I remember a couple of years ago, it was probably 20 or so years ago, like when Oprah turned 50, she was like, 50 is the new 20. And now it feels like 60 is the new 20. And I think it's so cool. I'm excited. I don't even feel like 40 is that old anymore. Like when my parents turned 40, they seemed really old. Like, you know, my grandmother was 45 when I was born. That is so weird to me. 40 is different now, I think. I know people who are just having babies now at 40. So crazy. So cool. It's awesome. So yeah. So guys, let me know what you think about turning 40. If you turned 40, I'd love to hear how you're dealing with it, or 50 or 60 or 30 or 20, whatever age you are. Comment down below and let me know what you've learned about turning your age. I'd love to hear from you. Penny is making weird snoring noises over on the other couch because she is a crazy dog. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and there's going to be some more videos here for you to watch as well. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and thanks for being awesome. Bye!